Well, welcome everyone to another Aeroflow Race for Real. Absolutely cracker of a night. The weather's perfect. The track looks great. Up here, co-commentator Pat. Hey, mate.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Oh, absolutely sensational.
Good to be back on the mic with you, and good to be back here at Sydney Dragway. We've got a nice little group of cars building up in the staging lanes with more to come. So, yeah, definitely excited to see what Race for Real, brought to you by Aeroflow Performance, brings tonight, mate.
Yeah, for sure. And we do have the Pocket Rocket. Hang on, he's fiddling with his mic.
I'm all good. How are you, boys?
Very good, buddy.
I've just got to fix up my earpiece so I can hear what you're saying. But being up here in the studio, it's good. We're about to get our photo taken for bringing back a favourite segment that we used to run here at Race for Real a number of years ago. And very, very soon we'll be bringing it back. So we'll keep that under wraps for the moment. But,
okay.
Some good cars out there tonight, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see a nice little... but yeah, Falcon's just shot down the strip for a 1061, 134 mile per hour, which is not a bad way to kick off the evening. I think we might have had Dave Muscat in the Mini in the left lane there, in the Aeroflow lane, who is a regular competitor at the track championships.
Yeah, I think everyone would remember Dave from back in the bit early days. He had the early Mustang that
yeah, Fox Body Mustang,
yeah.
I think, from memory.
Yeah, the white one. Run that for a while. That thing actually had all the running gear pulled out of it, and it's all going to go into a front-engine dragster.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So getting right into the competition side of things. But Dave's also been a bit of a reaction time fiend over the years as well. I think anyone that was a regular at Sydney Dragway would remember his white, I think it was an EL Fairmont gear that was here every night. It was him and Joe Sorbello, I think, knocking the gates down every night.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
well, talking about Mickey Mouse looking cars, mate, this LC Tirana down here.
it's got the show and a decent bit of go as well, Mark, I reckon.
It has indeed, yeah. It got off the line nice and clean, went out at 1.6. So, yeah, it's hooked up really well.
That's pretty. I didn't see. Does it have a radial tyre on it or a slick combination?
I think it's got a radial on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and yeah, you can't complain. 11.2s. That's sensational.
Yeah, it's really easy to get carried away, and I think I say it just about every time we're out here. It's really easy to get carried away with the amount of cars that are running 7s and 8s and 9s and 10s and all that sort of thing. But an 1120, an LC Tirana, is a bloody fuss. Quick, street car.
It is indeed, yeah. And they really are a fun car to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I've driven. I've moved a couple of Tiranas around in car parks and in and out of workshops and things like that. But 6'3" and 130 odd kilos doesn't really fit into an LC or an LJ too well, I must admit. But
mate, first thing gives it away when you hop in, sit in the seat, and the steering wheel is offset.
Yeah,
sitting over to the left.
Yep.
You sort of think, wow, something's wrong with this car.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right. Another regular that we're always keen to see down here is 12 Nug, the little Volkswagen Up.
Yes, yeah. This young lady is out here as much as she can, so which is very regular.
Absolutely, yeah. See it all the time. Tags us on the Aeroflow page quite regularly as well. Nugget the Up is the the tag. So great to see every walk and every brand and model and anything you can imagine out here at Sydney Dragway, and that's what Race for Real, brought to you by Aeroflow Performance, is all about.
And like you said, Pat, it's about you don't have to come out here and blast down in an 11 seconds pass.
No,
you can just she just ran off a 19-second pass.
Yeah,
and probably had more fun than everyone else.
Well, that's right. Where else are you going to be able to hold your whatever car it is flat to the floor for that long and not be worried about looking over your shoulder and all that sort of thing? So you can come and find out. So and I think we've got, if I'm not mistaken, it's a nice Valiant in the Rocket Lane.
Yes,
down there.
There's another Val out here tonight too, and it is very cranky. 6-cylinder.
There's a few. I think we've got a car club out here. I think the Mopar Regals out here tonight. They've got about 30 cars set up to come down. So we'll do that. And as Stewie mentioned earlier, we're about to get our photo taken, right?
We are indeed. So
I'm not sure who wants to see that, but we're going to make them do it.
Well, yeah. I hope you've got a really good strong lens on it.
We just take, there's a trowel. I saw it earlier. There's a trowel and a bucket of Vaseline. So that's going to go straight over the top, mate, and it's going to make us all look amazing. So a bit of Photoshop afterwards, I'm pretty sure. But I believe it's a bit of an initiative. We're going to try and get things, working back and forth between the crowd and the live stream viewers and whatnot with the team here, and get a bit of get a bit of communication two ways on Race for Real nights, which is going to be great. But Stewie knows the whole plan on that, so I might let him divulge at a later date. So let's duck off for 2 secs. We'll let the viewers in the stands and on the live stream watch for a second, and we'll be right back with you here at Race for Real, brought to you by Aeroflow Performance at Sydney Dragway.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of little boosted focuses heading to the line here tonight, mate. We've got the later generation ST in the Aeroflow lane versus the XR5, which is sort of the first generation of the turbo Focus that we got here in Australia. Both great little street cars, so it'll be interesting to see what we can reel off. Yeah,
because you don't really have to do a lot to them to make them really get up. They go.
Yeah, modern turbo engines, it's all there. Looks like the XR5, possibly a first timer. I can't quite see. I think there might be an FT on the windscreen down there. So just coming into stage, and here we go.
Well, not a real lot between them off the line.
No, that's going to be some good competition through the night, I think. 1367 at 107 for the Aeroflow lane, and a 1420 at 101 in the Rocket lane for the XR5.
Yeah, I think if there are two friends out here, they're going to have a ball tonight.
Yeah, I think so. They'll be back and forth.
It's on.
Definitely.
Might get Stewie down there to egg him on a little bit as well.
Definitely. So great car. I did notice there's the R35 GTR in the Rocket lane down here, Mark. There's a maybe we'll let Stewie go down and interview the lady that's driving this car. Possibly not the demographic that you would assume to be driving that car here at Sydney Dragway. Not to cast any aspersions over what who should be driving what car, but I think most people are probably not expecting the launch control to be activated by the lady that's driving this car right now, which is awesome to see. So should be interesting. And we've got a nice little late model BMW hatch/wagon down there in the Aeroflow lane to keep her honest. Nice little bit of wheel spin off here. So the R35 GTR is streaking off in the Rocket lane. It's going to head on down to 11:39 at 125. The BMW 1315 at 106.
Yeah, that's a great little pass. But those things are just so good because they're just so computer managed.
It's all the. I don't want to say all the hard work because you still got to drive the thing.
Yes, you do. Yeah,
but you don't have to guess at how to get the thing off the line necessarily.
No, not at all.
Activate the launch control and off you go.
Well, we got the Chrysler down in the Aeroflow lane up against the Commodore, the sports wagon.
I did notice some front runners on the 300C. down here, so probably packing a little bit of something. A little bit of a struggle to get the burnout happening though, I think, so something to work on for that driver through the night.
We'll go through 11.7, 125 miles an hour to a 12.0, 113 miles an hour.
Not bad.
So that thing definitely started to come on top end really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So when were you going to tell me there was a beautiful looking silver HQ GDS down here that I'm standing right next to? Oh man, this thing is hot.
We just thought we'd keep that a secret for you to discover down there, mate. Surprises are one of the best part of life, Stewie, don't you know?
I think so. G'day mate, what's your name?
Peter.
Peter, welcome to Aeroflow Race for Real, mate. How long have you owned this for?
25 years, something like that. I don't know, something for a while.
Mate, that is beautiful. Can't wait to see you get it on the track.
Yeah, it'll be good, see how it goes.
Now, I can't guarantee that Mark Thomas may not jump out of the commentary box window after seeing you race because, mate, I'd be doing the same thing.
I don't blame him.
You're fine. Go out and have some fun, Pete. I'll tell you what, Mark, that is sensational. I could see you in that, mate. Do you really? I mean, look, I love my Tiranas, don't get me wrong, Pat, but the HQ, without a doubt, is one of my favourite Holdens of all time. I love those things.
It'd be un-Australian if it wasn't, Stewie, I reckon. All right, so we just have a nice late model VF GDS coming through here in the Aeroflow lane, and definitely not afraid of a burnout, which we always like to see on a Wednesday night. I can see Lee from the Shell Performance in the rocket lane down there with the Subaru. This is a big horsepower Subaru. So the last time I was here, I remember Lee was doing a bit of testing and tuning with the suspension setup to try and get this thing to go straight. Okay. And it was a bit of a challenge around half track. It wanted to swap lanes, but we'll see what they've figured out. Well, it's definitely still a handful, but a lot straighter than the last time we saw it.
Yeah, it wasn't going too bad there. You can see the little bit of a move once it started really coming on to boost.
Yep.
And that N on the back window is definitely there to get it spooled up well.
To get it up there. Yeah, I know it's got one of our turbos on there, so we know it's making some good power. I spoke to Lee last time he was out here, and he said we've gone from 40 PSI to sort of 45, and the thing is an animal between the two. So you'd think 40 was pretty animal-like, but apparently 45 is a whole different beast. So just taming that beast is what they're focusing on at the moment, which is no easy feat. Short wheelbase, all-wheel drive. You've got four tyres trying to pull you in all sorts of directions.
Yeah.
So let's hope they can roll into that a little bit harder earlier on.
And that's the thing. You can punch as much horsepower into these things as you like, but it is getting it down that black stuff.
Yep.
In a straight line.
Yep.
Yeah. You want to keep it down to 400 metres, not 500.
Yeah, that's right. It goes a long way around to 400 metres. Yeah. There's definitely other events out there for that sort of thing.
Yes.
But, drag racing, not so much.
Yeah. No.
That's part of the challenge. So we'll see what this. Got another VF Commodore in left lane. Was an AU Falcon. I dare say there's a bit of extra atmospheres going into that motor in the Falcon, judging by how it got out of the line there.
Well, that AU Falcon also running a big set of radials on the rear end of it as well. 11.25 at 125. Great pass there. All right, here comes Peter, boys, in the beautiful looking HQ.
Mate, that is just absolutely mint.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Can't go wrong with a coupe, really.
No. I had one of them for a short period of time, a jade green one.
Oh, yeah?
A little 253, but geez, it was a nice thing to drive. Yeah, it's just, great car.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm about to say it, but sometimes it's better when they don't have 1,000 horsepower.
Yes.
I think I'm sure I'm dreaming or feeling sick or something like that, but, But it is nice to have a bit of a cruiser, rather than something that's trying to tear your face off every time you want to take it down the shops. So.
Yep.
And 1236 110 is no slouch for a QE.
No. Well, we got the VS Commodore down here, real tidy car.
Becoming a bit of a regular the driver in that VS, I believe. But another bit of classic muscle there.
Yeah.
Right, 4-door.
Nice
GDS
GDS. Yeah. And it's such a iconic colour tone in it with the striping.
It's also got 2 race numbers on it as well, boys, rather than T numbers. So I don't know. We're going to find out who the driver is.
Okay, we're just holding these cars up for the moment. I think the guys on the side of the track have spotted something. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark. We just got this VS down here that's got the slicks on or radials on the rear end of it, but there's a ute sitting just below you, Mark, that really kind of reminds me of yours, except it's white and it's got the number plates drags it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's got the Maloo kit on it.
Yeah, so just track crew making sure that the rocket lane is safe for this beautiful GDS to go down the strip and everyone else that follows. Every now and again, you might get a little bit of something that's is dripping out of the car. Now, it could just be something as innocent as leaving the AC on.
Yep.
You know, you've got your condenser building up a little bit of water dropping off from the AC vents. It could also be, I've mentioned this before, for those tuning in, not for the first time, catch cans.
Yep.
A lot of heavily modified vehicles running catch cans, and they can get full, believe it or not, when you're out here and running 100% throttle. It's something that you've definitely got to add into your regular maintenance, your checklist before you come out to the track. Make sure your tyres are good, make sure your brakes are good, make sure everything's working okay, not leaking fluids.
Especially if you've got something that breathes real heavy.
Yep, something boosted. Yep.
Yeah, you can really see it. Like at the catch can, they get a little bit of haze coming out of them. It's it's working hard.
It's it can be anything boosted. I know, if you're running a catch can vented to atmosphere, you pull up at a set of lights if you're driving your street car and you go, oh, what's coming out of my bonnet? But it's all good. It's doing what it's supposed to do. GDS offer an 11.108 at 118 mile per hour in the rocket lane. Really nice runner to the VS at 13.46 at 105 in the Aeroflow lane.
Okay, so the VS Ute.
Definitely double trouble from the Holden crew down there.
Yep.
Tonight, Mark, we got the VE. Looks like it's got a CV Performance sticker on the rear window. Usually means something's a little bit spicy under the hood there.
Yes, it is indeed.
And the VS Ute can barely contain what's spiciness is under the Ute there. It's had to put a big cowl on it. So let's see.
I'll tell you what, the VE is not hanging around. 11.5, 127 miles an hour to a 13.7 at 100 miles an hour. So
not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
This is an interesting combination here, Mark. This is a Patrol versus a XW, I think that is. Falcon sedan down there. I'm probably going to get some hate because I always get them wrong. XW, XY, XP, XM. Never get it.
Not too bad on the XPs and stuff, but yeah, the XY and XW loses me.
The designers could have done us a favour, like made it a bit different. A bit more different.
Yeah. I think it's just lack of imagination.
now. Mr. Holden.
Sorry, did I really say that? Yeah.
What's the difference between a HQ and a HJ?
Yeah. Well, nice. 2 cars just roll on out. The LJ.
The LJ is a pretty thing.
Mark and Pat, I got a little bit of news. One of the drivers for that HQ that was out earlier, the yellow one, none other than Stuart Howell, because Stu, one of our races quite regularly at the New South Wales State Champ rounds, he's got the yellow ute, HZ ute I think it is.
Okay.
It's got Skips Fire Services stickers on it.
Yep.
Okay,
Stu's having a drive of that HQ when it comes set back out.
Well, good to see him out here and taking part at Race for Real on a Wednesday night. That's what it's all about, having a bit of fun.
Tell you what, this FC down here looks a lot like Casey Leonard's car.
The Golden Holden, I think I'm going to call it. Yeah. Tony Ruffalo. Streaks onto 11.18 at 120. And Mark's favourite LC is at 11.52 at 99.97. Is a whisker away from the 100 mile per hour mark.
Yeah. I wonder if he's backed that down a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Just a tad.
Yep. The great looking XD, I think it is, Femel gear down there.
Yes.
Tough set of radials on the back of it. Great stance. And just a real mint looking car. I'm keen to see how this performs. Got the air cleaner out the bonnet. And we've got a VF Commodore in the right lane to keep him honest.
Yeah.
As commonly happens, Mark, I've been corrected by Benji. Apparently it's an XE.
Yeah, you got to see the front though.
Yeah.
You can't go by the back.
Yeah. I mean, XF you can guess because the tail lights are different.
Yes.
But
Yep.
Yeah. I'll get there.
Yeah,
I'll get it right.
What can I say?
So, look, don't make me pick on the Tiranas, mate, all right? Tell me
Mate,
the difference between LC and LJ.
Straight tail lights.
Straight tail lights.
Hey,
Oh,
LJ.
huge difference between the two cars.
Holden there to help you out.
Yeah.
Different models, you can separate them.
There's differences in Fords, mate. There's differences in Fords.
It's got the 308, judging by the number plates underneath the bonnet. Nice big roll cage on the inside and plenty of tyre shake.
Yeah. Drawing a pretty pattern on the track down there, that's for sure. A bit of
You
action
can
trim.
see that diff just bouncing in the wheel arches.
I wonder what diff's in it, Mark.
Oh, mate, it's be one of those Ford things that just...
Funny.
yeah. Well, virtually is a banjo.
Yeah. Centre comes out the front.
Yeah. They're just really big and heavy, though.
Yeah. You mean strong and reliable.
Oh,
right?
is that what sorry.
You got the wrong words.
Wrong wording.
Yeah.
My mistake. Sorry, mate.
Beautiful. Here's our ever reliable Race for Real Wednesday night and track championship competitor Joe Sorbello in the Nissan down there.
Oh, Uncle Joe.
Dial it in. Yeah, Uncle Joe. And we got Team Karam, Evo, King 4G down there, back out. I think a couple of weeks ago it was out here. They were doing some testing. I think the same night that Lee from Shell was here with, with the white Subaru. So both cars back out tonight to do a little bit more tuning. I think traction and launch was the issue last time for the Evo. So let's see if the guys have got their head around over that.
Yeah.
Still a little bit to work out by the looks of things, but nice light from Uncle Joe, 037 on the light with 144, 60 foot. Runs off to a 918 at 149 mile per hour. The Evo just making its way down after a bit of a bog off the launch, but that's testing and tuning, folks. So the guys will get their head around that. They'll build a little bit more boost before the clutch gets dropped, and I'm sure that thing will be rocketing off the line in no time.
Yeah, for sure. They'll go back, have a quick read of data, and yep.
Absolutely. Good to see the Cortina back out. I think might have break an axle or something. I think maybe the last time we saw this car out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, which normally super consistent.
Yes.
Did have a little bit of a rear end issue last time it was out, so we missed it a couple of weeks.
Okay, he's been fighting with it for a fair while. He had a little bit of a off with it, and it created a really bad vibration in the car.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. So he's been fighting with that for a while. So I wonder if that could have been the problem.
Could have been. Yeah, it could have been something, an axle wasn't quite right, and then off it goes. And look, I'll be honest, I can't exactly remember what the drama was, but it certainly looked like it was an axle when it did break.
Yep.
Last time, because the car sort of just violently wanted to go in one direction.
Yes. Yeah, it's usually an axle, isn't it?
Yep. Yep. Usually pretty telltale sign when there's only one side pushing the car. But nice and straight. So we've got the feeler pass out just to knock off any doubt and any ring rust. I'm sure we'll be back in the 9s again, I think, from memory. That car.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, usually runs around the mid 9s.
Yep.
Super consistent and such a great racer. He's real quick on the lights, knows the car, And that car too is, not too far away from coming apart and going back to street form.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yep. Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? You reach a point of no return, and then all of a sudden your street car is a race car.
Yes.
And then sometimes you sort of look at it and you go, I'd just like to get in it and drive it down the street.
Yep.
So maybe the race car should become a street car again.
Yep. Yeah. Then it's time just to totally go race car.
Yeah, full race car.
Yeah.
Because race car.
I'll tell you what, boys, aside from the Mopars that are here tonight, a big thank you to the Regal Club for coming out and supporting Aeroflow Race for Real. But I'll tell you what, there's some great-looking Holdens down here. Got a very nice-looking VS that it's on its way out, Mark, very soon. 96 Hyper. We got Mr. PSI, which is here too. Nice-looking VK. But coming out now is this beautiful-looking R35 GTR, and it's got the Advan Racing GT wheels on it, and they look sensational on that car. R mode, so be interested to see how quick it goes. These things can be a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing. You never know what's been done to them. They're just so quiet, unassuming, until they hit the drag strip and all hell breaks loose.
Well, Stu, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen one of these roll on out and just build off an 8-second pass.
Absolutely, Mark. And Stewie, if you want to see quiet and unassuming, in lane 3, there's the other white 35. I'm pretty sure quiet and unassuming is what you would call the driver of that one, mate. So I think definitely worth a chat. But Armo GDR off for 179, 60 foot, which is pretty tidy on a relatively soft launch for one of those. It's going to streak off to a 11.0 with an 8 at 125 mile per hour. And the Volkswagen in the Aeroflow lane is heading down for what looks to be a 13.0 at 107. Maybe some work to do on the launch for the Volkswagen.
Sort of sat on the line for nearly 6 seconds. And
yeah, it's a bit fiddly, the launch control with those. You activate it, and then if you don't let it go in time, it resets, and then you can start again. And that's the downside of the computer-controlled launch stuff, right? It's you've got to follow its rules.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than the car thinking for you and then taking over.
Yeah. No, that's not what I want. All right. Ford versus Holden here, Mark, your favourite?
Well, VK just pops that left-hand wheel in the air.
It's definitely full of attitude, Mr. PSI. Scratch one up for the Holden, guys. 11.28, 122. Meets a 13.39, 105 for the Aeroflow lane.
Wow, mate, look at this ute down here. It is absolutely pristine.
That is a tidy thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the first thing that grabbed my eye as well for these guys. Hawkesbury Clothing Company, Hawkesbury Custom Coatings.
Okay.
Helping these guys out.
Doing some powder coating and whatnot. Probably something to describe why the car looks the way it does.
It's got a passenger on board as well.
Beautiful. What a great opportunity, right?
Yes.
You throw your mate in the car, your brother, your sister, your mum, your dad, your friend, your cousin, whoever, your next door neighbour. Get them down, buy them a passenger band, and scare the pants off them. That's it. Show them a great night.
Yeah.
All right, the one person you do not want to verse in a bracket race is down on track. In the rocket lane, the young lady in the Volkswagen Up, probably the most consistent car that we have here race at Aeroflow Race for Real. It's not the fastest, but it's the most consistent.
Yep, and that's exactly it, Stu. Consistency, you can't beat it.
I thought she was about to go in for a deep stage on the Polo there. They might have just overshot it a little bit, but I thought, wow. Bottom bulb only. That's keen.
Getting a little bit too confident.
Yeah. All right, the Volkswagen Polo in the Aeroflow lane, 16.22 at 88. And Nugget the Up is off for a 19.18 at 72 miles per hour. Consistent as always.
Well, BMW down in the Aeroflow lane up against the GDS.
Yeah, Stuart's behind the wheel now, Mark and Pat.
Okay. See if Stuart can bring it into stage and try and get a clean 60 foot. Quick pedal off the line, resulting in a 2.0 60 foot. Definitely, I'm sure the guys can see the improvement.
Yeah. Actually got out of that then, mid-track, and back into it. 13.1, 96 miles an hour to a 12.2, 125 miles an hour.
Some mile per hour on board with that BMW. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah,
Those
indeed.
sneaky turbo cars. Thing. Right, here's the
again.
Yeah, it's the Focus twins.
Tell you what, this red Ford Focus down here sounds pretty angry, just quietly.
Yeah, they're a good thing, those 5 cylinders, Stu.
Well, he's taking on Mean ST, MacArthur Motorsport Mechanical, helping them out.
Oh, someone's found the rev limiter. That's
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
have indeed.
Well, you got to make sure it's there sometimes, you know. So 1288 at 110 is definitely an improvement for the red XR5 there. 14.7 at 100. I dare say the blue ST found the limiter on that part.
Yeah, I think so. Probably seen his mate going past him, but nah.
Nah.
Another BMW down in the rocket lane, up against the Skyline. I don't think they call them Skylines now. Is it GTR?
No, it's just GTR. Yeah, when they went to
GTR.
R35,
Yeah.
the GTR is just a GTR. They still sold Skylines, but they were a separate model.
Yep.
So just a rear-wheel drive. Whoa.
We are.
A lot of wheel spin on board on the launch there, but nicely gathered up with an aborted pass, which is perfectly fine. That is the best way to do it. If the car's getting out of shape, and you know, we're not racing for sheep stations, right? It's not. There's no championship happening tonight or anything like that. So if the car's all out of shape and it's not going to be a great pass, just back out of it. Head back down, come around. Plenty of time to run again.
That's exactly it, yeah. Because we've seen it too many times. Someone just stays in it,
Yep.
and then they're a passenger because the thing just does what it wants to do.
Isn't it funny? Any time someone says to themselves, "I've got it, I've got it, I've got it,"
Yep.
then they don't.
No,
It's not.
Yep, and we got a wall out there that says that you're not as good as what they is.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're running out of talent, get out of it.
Yep. From what I understand, Sydney Dragway walls undefeated.
100%. Yeah.
Panels and paint,
Yeah.
not so much. So let's keep it, the right way. Keep everything pointing in the right direction.
Got this nice, cleaner looking Valiant.
Yeah, I think it's got the 6 in it. I think it might have a Hemi 6 in this thing, judging by the sound of it last time it ran.
Yeah.
Which is a glorious sound.
We've got the other one sitting, the other Valiant sitting down there in lane 5. Another 6-cylinder. Very, very cammy.
Is that a Charger? No?
I think it is.
I think it's a Charger.
It's one of the early ones.
Like a Gagan era Bathurst sort of Charger, I think.
Yep.
From Leo Gagan. I remember speaking to him once.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was later in his life. He's obviously passed on now, may he rest in peace, but later in his life he was doing the odd driver training sort of day down at Wakefield Park Raceway.
Yes.
Take your streetcar down there and he'd go and show you how slow you were in your own car.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to him, and he would tell us that Bathurst, the car was unreal. The Charger was amazing. He said power was great. The chassis was pretty good. All relative for the time, of course.
Yep.
But he said the brakes were just hopeless. He said 1 year at Bathurst with the Charger, they came into a pit stop, they pulled the wheels off, and the brake discs fell out of it. Like it was just braking chassis, not the 70 strong point.
Yep. Yeah. I remember hearing an interview with Peter Brock too, and Peter Brock puts down a lot of his skill that he got was from the early Monaros, the HKs, HGs.
Yep.
Same thing. He said, for 2 laps you had brakes, and after that you drove without them.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you learn and figure out a few things.
Yeah. It was real racing, real production car racing back then.
real production car racing. Yeah, I think definitely, you know, the guys and girls that get in their cars and put their helmets on are they're all racing.
Yep.
To even today, but definitely, yeah, it's not, you know, on a national level. It's not production car.
No,
these days. So.
Well, early days, they drove like a lot of cars were drove from Melbourne. The guys,
yep,
the HDTs, and they were pulling those cars like Brocky and Perkins. All those guys drove them up from Melbourne and raced them.
Yep, just as it was. Yep. Yeah. That's right. Or, you know, they were towed on an open trailer.
Yeah,
behind a ute.
Well, the LCs they drove up there, and the LJs they trailered them as the first ones of the trailering.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's definitely come a long way. It's I don't know that they'd actually let you in the gate if you had a supercar on an open trailer these days. No. They'd probably question who you'd stolen it from.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
All right, nice launch from the VF GDS, running off to a 10.98 at 125 down there.
And 11.61, 140 miles an hour.
140 usually tells me that there's a bit of a spoolie boy under the bonnet of that S13. I think it might have a bit of an LS turbo combination working on that thing, which is pretty cool. We've got this boosted AU out here again, up against the VF SSV by the looks of things. A lot of wheel spin from the VF. The Falcon is out of the hole. 168 on the 60 foot, which is very nice for a street car. With a standard rear end, I would say, in that thing. Off to a 10.900 at 128. Very nice pass for the AU there. 13.14 at 109 for the Commodore in the Rocket Lane.
I'll tell you what, once that AU got out of there, he pulled in a lot of real estate on that Commodore real quick. Yeah, definitely back half cars. Most of the turbo, turbo brigade. They'll pack it on in the back end, which is always interesting. It's really funny, you know, when you've driven sort of a couple of different cars that might have the same power, or they might run the same sort of time, but something that's got sort of boosting, you know, whether it's supercharged or turbocharged. Just feels different to a naturally aspirated. Well, even turbocharged to supercharged, you know, it's so different the way the feel is when you're behind the wheel that you can see how some people stick with one or the other. Yeah. You know, it's whichever it is that they like. But in my experience, I'm sure it's very similar for a lot of people. A supercharged car is, you know, off the line hit, and then the turbo car is sort of the back half. Yeah. And that kind of ruined me for driving anything else but turbo cars. You know, don't get me wrong, everyone wants a big block with a blower on it. Yeah. You know, or something similar, right? A blown Hemi or you know, whatever that might be, because they're ultimately cool. But if you're cruising around and you run a big pull on a turbo car, it's hard to go back. I've got to say, all my cars have been naturally aspirated. Yep. And I sort of talk to different people, and and I listen to what you say, because you've got your turbo car, of how the power comes on in a turbo car to a supercharged car too. They reckon that the supercharged car is a little bit more less aggressive to what the turbo is. The turbo does come on like a brick.
Yeah, it's definitely dependent on the combination for sure. You know, if you've got a big turbo on a small capacity engine, then that's gonna whack you like a sledgehammer when it comes on. But I think the biggest difference is where your NA or your supercharged engine, generally speaking, positive displacement supercharger for sure, towards the top end of the RPM range, it's gonna roll off a little bit more. Yep. Whereas I suppose because the supercharged engine kind of works like an NA engine from that point of view, whereas a turbo, you can effectively feed it more and more boost the more RPM that comes along. Yep. So yeah, definitely different characteristics between the two, which is why the turbo cars are back halving so hard. You know, and for those listening along, back halving, by that I mean the mile per hour that they're putting on in the back half of the racetrack. So while they might not be setting the world on fire at the 60 foot or the half track, generally you find the mile per hour is much higher in the back end because the power doesn't fall off until, you know, basically the limiter,
Yeah.
which is something that is tunable with a turbo car, whereas a supercharged car, for example, is a fixed ratio. It's got a pulley, and the boost level that it makes is dependent on the pulley and the RPM that the car can spin.
Yeah.
Whereas with a turbo, you can just shut that wastegate and it'll keep chuffing until your engine says no more. So, which can be a little dangerous.
Yeah, your motor sitting next to you.
Hey boys, I'm down in the staging lanes at the moment. Just want to say a big thank you. Just had to talk with one of their members. He's got a Dodge Ute, which is coming out very, very soon. It's blue. Just running a simple little Holly setup on it. Nothing, and a cam, nothing too major, but he's out here having a lot of fun. But just want to send a shout out to their president. Unfortunately, he's in hospital at the moment, so he couldn't make it tonight. So hopefully all your members can put on a good show for you tonight here at Aeroflow Race for Real.
How'd that beautiful little Tirana go?
Mate, I actually missed it.
I'm sure it'll be back around again.
I'm positive on that.
I did hear the Deshell Subaru making all sorts of noises down there, so it was making itself known. But
well, Falcon just turning tyres off the line. In the meantime, Commodore out and gone. 10.7, 130 miles an hour.
That is getting along. I think I got a feeling on the track marker I could hear a little bit of popping. Maybe breaking up down the big end there. I wonder if it's got a nitrous, hit a nitrous or something. I didn't see if there was an N on the back.
Yeah, I didn't see a nitrous sticker. But yeah, I dare say CMV have got one of their hidden little extras under there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's definitely more to the story, I dare say. So, but the boys at CV, Connor Vic, Kev, John, their son, is they're one of everything.
Yeah.
Do you want it supercharged? Do you want it nitrous? Do you want it turbo?
Yes.
Whatever. All comers welcome.
That's the good thing about those guys.
Yep.
They do, you sort of go to some of the other engine builders and they sort of just have their ones that they favour.
Yep. Yeah, and that's fine as well. I suppose the good thing about going to someone who specialises in a particular thing is that you know what you're going to get.
Yes.
If you go to a shop that specialises in nitrous, well, you're going to get a good nitrous motor.
Yeah.
If you ask them to build a turbo engine, they'd probably say no.
Yeah.
or it might not be desirable,
Yes.
But yeah, Con and Vic and the boys have been around for so long
They
they got all the bases covered, which is great to see them and their customers out here. And Con raced his HQ Ute, the 1 tonner, the famous 1 tonner for the first time in I think it was something like 25 years or something like that, maybe more recently. So it was really cool to see the big block tonner back out here again.
Well, Mark and Pat, I don't know if you guys can hear. I'm going to put the microphone down for a second. Mark, please promise you won't get excited. Does that sound nice, or does that sound nice? The sound of a beautiful looking GTR XU1 Tirana.
Mate, sounds sensational.
Complete with slicks on the back too.
Can't go wrong there, mate.
No.
I'm actually going to say, I didn't see what it ran last time. I don't quite remember what it ran, this Patrol.
Yeah.
You thought I was going to say the Falcon, right?
No, I was pretty much. Because I was interested in the Patrol myself.
Yeah. It's definitely not something that we see out here, unless it's a a 4-wheel drive diesel theme night, a race for real.
Yeah.
But that is not a small car. So to get a 234 60 foot is not bad. 11.0 at 123 for the XE.
Jeez, that's quick.
That is a nice thing. 159.60. That was out of there.
Yeah.
So really good. 1440 at 96 mile per hour for the Patrol. Not too shabby
That
for
is
something
good.
that must weigh. Surely that's 3 tons worth of car, right?
Yep. Yeah, you'd definitely be happy with that.
Yeah.
We got the Valiant Ute.
Here's the gentleman I was just having a chat with.
It's from the Mopar Regal, Stu. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yep, it's the Dodge Ute.
Yep.
I believe this thing's got a 6 in it, but it's only got like a little mild cam in it.
Can't hear it burbling away down there, so let's see what he can run.
they're out here having a bit of fun. And once again, you know, the Regals Club, they've been great supporters of Race for Real a lot over the years. And they were saying that a lot of their members have been asking to come out when we're having a drag racing night. So they said, okay, we'll put one on.
It's great to have them out here, Stu. And you know, if you are part of a club or you've got a group of like-minded, you know, car enthusiasts that have, you know, maybe share the same vehicle, whether it's from the same manufacturer, the same model, the same sort of region. You know, if it's a KDM, a JDM, an AUDM, a USDM, whatever it might be, any of the DMs, get straight in our DMs, and we can accommodate you. You know, if you've got enough numbers, in some cases the track can allocate a lane for your club or your group, so that you're basically guaranteed that you're all going to run in the same, you know, against each other. But you know, if there's not quite enough, head on down anyway. You know, come down, grab a lane, and see what you've got. You know, have some fun.
And that's exactly what it is. You're just going to have a blast of the night. Be out here, especially like, you know, with the club. So be plenty of bantering going on and throwing it around. So
that's right.
And this is a place to be doing it.
And if you've never done it before, the first time you do it, you go, "Oh, that was cool. I'm going to go faster." You know, it's quick to set the hook, so to speak.
It's addictive.
Yeah. All right, Mark. Here's your grey LC, and we've got the Team Karam Evo.
All right, mate. See, free tail lights, LJ.
Okay, LJ. Right.
One tail light, LC.
I can barely see that.
That's why I got the glasses on.
That's why I'm glad we got you upstairs, Mark, because that was a bit before my time with the Tiranas. But taking on King 4G, notice that there's another Evo that was going through scrutineering as well. They had a parachute on the back, so they're all coming out to play tonight.
Yeah, I think I can see it rolling around into the lanes at the moment, Stu. So could be Evo King, I think, which we saw run 869 a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, an absolute monster.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, King 4G, geez, once they get that launch dialed in, that is going to be an aggressive little Evo. Trying to swap all sorts of ends up in the deep end of the track on that pass.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be doing a bit of driving.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that you see a small four-cylinder all-wheel drive vehicle leave tyre marks from the 330 point. Not, before, we see that a bit, but from the 330, not so much.
Now, boys, so I was just down in the pits, and I was just having a quick word with Scotty Diver, who's here tonight as well. Now, they've got their current model Subaru WRX out here tonight. Scotty was telling me that they've changed the clutch in the car, boys, because they had a bit of an issue last time they came out. Now, Scotty's told me if the clutch holds tonight, the plan is to put a bigger turbo on this current model WRX, and they'll be bringing it back out and do some more testing. But as it stands, it's actually the quickest My 23 model WRX in the country.
Yeah, right. Is that Scotty from Ichiban, Stu?
Yeah, that's Ichiban, yep.
But those guys are consistent, getting out here and run down the pass. Casper, Scott's GC8, the earlier WRX is pretty well known out here. It's run, I believe he did click a 9 in that thing with a standard bottom end, or factory bottom end. I'm sure there was a few little feddles here and there, but yeah, still standard rods and pistons in that thing. Healthy bit of boost on top, and that's still going.
Hey, Stu, I'll throw one to you. When you go down and talk to Scotty again,
yes, ask
him, have they had a play with the V6 one, or the six-cylinder?
Yeah, definitely. I'll go and ask him.
I've never ever heard of anyone playing with one.
Yeah, there's been a few out there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regoli definitely had a few crazy ones. There was an old gold. I want to say GDB. De Bronx, that's right. That had a 6 in it, I'm certain, at one point. Tony Regoli as well has played with a few in the time. It's definitely been a few around, but I think they sort of have their own. There's their own sort of limitations and RPM and whatnot that can be a bit of a concern. I'm definitely not the expert, so I'm sure Scott will be able to tell us that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
Well, this will be an
his,
interesting race, boys, because we've got the Scotty Diver in the Ichiban Performance My 23 WRX up against the Honda Civic Type R. Yes, it's my dream car. I had a look at it, had the bonnet up, and I had to walk away. I was getting too excited. I love these things.
Calm down, Pocket Rocket. That's a very nice car. I see you getting all jittery down there.
Mate,
it's a very nice car. Don't ruin it for that person.
I'm telling you right here and now, I'm so tempted to bring the helmet.
You should, mate. Bring the helmet.
Seriously, I love those things.
I reckon I know someone that could get you a passenger band, Stu.
Well, that would be awesome. If I could be a passenger in that, that'd be amazing. But here goes Scotty in the My 23 Ichiban Performance WRX. Looks like the clutch is held, but it's hard to tell until he gets back. So, 1264. Now, he was talking with that car too last time I spoke to him. Stage 1 tuning that car. And I know that there are plans in the pipeline further down the track to go water to methanol injection and a few other little bits and pieces with that car as well. So, I guess the next big thing for them is the turbo upgrade. Get that sorted, get that working, and then maybe look at doing some extra stuff within the motor itself.
Yeah, definitely still early days for that new platform.
Yeah.
I think it's a VA WRX, VB WRX, I think it is, that they call them now. So yeah, I'm sure the guys, Ichiban and many other workshops around Sydney are tinkering away at the moment to try and eke a little bit more out of them. That's what we like.
Well, I do make a habit, Pat, that every time I come here to the track, because I usually come through North Rocks on my way here to the track, and I'm very fortunate I get to drive past Parramatta Vehicle Services fairly regularly.
Yep.
And look, they've got some good stuff going on at their workshop as well. Obviously, they've been out here as well with their Hyundai i30N, which is a work in progress for them, for their customers. But every time I go past that shop, there are that many 86s in there. So obviously that's probably their bread and butter, what they're doing. And they seem to be doing very well at it too, because they're involved with a few race cars as well as some quick street cars.
Yeah, PVS has definitely embraced the, I think it's the FA20 platform in the 86s. So, and good on them, you know, like everyone needs a little specialist for, you know, there's a bunch of people that like the car. So there needs to be a bunch of people that want to work on them as well, right? And that just keeps the industry ticking along. So that little BMW in the Aeroflow lane, that blue BMW is getting quicker, Mark. 12.0 at 124 mile per hour. That's that's a little surprise package, I think.
We've also got a red Honda Integra down here, Mark, that has got a headlight missing.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
So I dare say this one is not standard.
Yeah.
I don't know that it'll be as quick as the old silver one we used to have here, Miss R. But ProWorks performance behind this car, so we'll see what it's got for us.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of jamming as much cold air in there as you can get.
Well, it could. Definitely some boost there as well, mate. So yeah, that's the combination. Turbo plus K-Series Honda engine equals the win. But this BMW in the Aeroflow lane is going to be a surprise package as well, I think.
Yeah,
mate.
it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I think it's been out here a couple of times, hasn't it, this car? A little bit extra. There we go, full stage. Ready to go. Definitely all of the grip in the Aeroflow lane and none of it in the Rocket lane.
Just a tad torque steer.
Yeah, a little bit there, but yeah, 122 mile per hour on the brakes across the line. Yep. There's a lot more in that Integra to come. But hey, what about a surprise package of 11.0 at 138 mile per hour in the BMW in the Aeroflow lane? That's not bad.
That is you think about these cars that like virtually haven't been broken open. They're all just tune and bolt on.
Yep.
And you know, like they're virtually clocking near 140 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that car would have been kicked out a few years ago. You know, like that's That's it shows you how the track and sanctuary boys have got to move with the times as well, which is why we've got our real street class now.
Yep.
So you've got later model cars being able to run down into the 9s with all of the extra safety equipment and braking and traction and things that they've got. So you've got to move with the times, which is why it's still important for people to get their late model cars down here.
Yep.
It's all, everyone's obviously a big fan of classic muscle and Holden and Ford and all that sort of thing at the drag strip. That's that's our core market, shall we say? Definitely the late model stuff, Euro stuff. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's fast, it's cool, mate.
I love watching these things like the golfs. It just amazed me when they first started getting played.
Yep.
The guys were playing with them and broke open the computers, got in there and started playing with them and they're out there running 11-second passes.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, that's right. We can't say it enough. It's just so easy to get carried away with the number of something heavily modified that's running a single digit or a 10 or whatever. But like back in the day, put my old man voice on. A 10-second pass was like, that was something to aspire to. Yeah, like it was wild, And if you had a 12-second street car, that was a quick car in its own right. It still is. But it's amazing at how much easier it is to get there with modern equipment.
Yes.
Well, Mark and Pat, just below you guys in the rocket lane, just in the tunnel, just behind this WRX, is another Evo with the JDM King number plates from the Osmonds group. Of course, those guys are well known back in the early 2000s. The Osmonds had some great looking WRXs and Evos back in the day, and they're here tonight with their four-wheel drive weapon to do a little bit of testing.
Yeah, definitely remember the old Osmonds auto salon cars from back in the day. I believe the guys running the Osmonds Racing now are part of the same family, if not the same brothers. I think it's part of the same family that have obviously kept the legacy alive. So I think it's an Evo, I want to say it's an Evo 3 that they've got down there, Stewie. So definitely keen to see how that rolls out.
Oh, man. Mark, I've just walked out the back, and obviously the Golden Holden's here. It's fantastic to see that car back because we haven't seen it for a little while. It is a beast. Great to see the car back, brother.
Oh, no, that's Tony. That's his car.
Oh, that's Tony's.
Tony.
Is that Tony?
Tony's car, yeah.
Hey, stranger, what's happening?
Oh, not too bad.
What's been happening with the Golden Holden?
I don't know. We're trying to get it going. We'll see. It's not running so good at the moment, so we'll just try our luck.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, it's fantastic to see you back, Tony. It's been too long, mate.
It has been too long, yes.
Great to see you, mate. Now, just behind Tony is a very, very nice VL Commodore, Mark. It's got some nice Momo rims on it. How are you, buddy?
All right, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. What's your name?
Mike Savage.
Hey, Mike. Welcome to Aeroflow. I'm Stuart, mate.
Thank you.
Mate, I walked out from under the tunnel and my eyes almost popped out of my head. Yeah. This thing is gorgeous. Tell us a little bit about your Commodore.
Well, I like the nice bright colours, and so it's a VL Calais that I've had for the last 20 years. And it's been a love-hate relationship like they all are. This is the fourth motor in it, and I'm pretty happy with it now. But this is the first time I had this car out, so I'm just curious to see what it's going to run. It's got a blown 355 in it, so I'm just a bit nervous.
Look, I've got to ask you, obviously, your business, what do you guys actually do?
So my business is Savage Custom Bonnets, and as you can see, the bonnet on this is what I've done. This is the sort of work that I do.
Well, mate, it looks fantastic. It's an absolute credit to you, Mike. It's fantastic to have you here as well, mate, as part of this Aeroflow Race for Real.
Thank you. Pleasure.
There you go, boys. Blown 355 stroker.
Yeah,
in the
that's the
VL.
right
Mark,
stuff.
I can see your grin from down here.
There's a lot of nodding going on up here, mate. There's a lot of nodding happening. Nodding of approval. All right, here we go.
Why am I not
Evo's.
surprised? Now, just quickly, boys, I am just rushing up to see Scotty. Just quickly, although he's on the phone.
Just while you're there, Stu, the Osmonds Evo 3 just ran a 948 at 163 miles per hour, and it did it the long way round. So,
wow.
More to come from that car later on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm standing next to Scotty now. He's on the phone, so I might have to get back to you guys on this one.
All good, mate. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, he's off the phone now. He's good.
Look out.
I got him. Scotty, just quickly, mate. First of all, mate, it is great to see you back.
Thank you.
Mate, Mark, just wanted to ask you a question. With the WRXs, were there many people here in Australia that did a lot of tuning and modifications with the 6 cylinders?
There is. There's been a few that are floating around. Regolis have still got one in one of their drag cars, but there's a few people playing.
Fair enough. And is there much power between what the standard V6 motor and what this particular model, the 23 model's making?
These stock, they make just over 200 kilowatts, so it's not overly impressive, but it's about 30 kilowatts more than the 3.6 litre. So there's a bit of a gain.
And obviously, what you're doing with this vehicle and everything you do for this platform, you know, it's coming along in baby steps, but are you noticing the gains? Because, I mean, you drive this car probably all the time or most of the time. Do you notice it?
Yeah, look, from where it started as standard to where it is now, it's definitely gotten a lot better. So it was a 14 3-second car standard. We're gone 11.9 in it, but now we're coming into gearbox issues, clutch issues. So we're working through them before we start putting more power at it. So,
well, mate, you're doing a great job for this. And anybody that's watching on YouTube or Facebook and you've got a Subaru and you're thinking, oh, what can I do? Get in touch with Scotty at Ichiban Performance, and I'm sure that Scotty will give you all the relevant information on what you can do to your car for mild to wild.
that's it.
Thanks, Scotty. Back to you boys upstairs.
Okay, thanks there, Stu. Well, we might cross over to the big screen and play a few ads, and we will be back with you very, very shortly. Here, Aeroflow, race for real.
Aeroflow, famous for our massive range of hose, fittings and performance products. Air filters, oil filters, fittings, engine and transmission parts, fuel systems, tanks, silicone hose, exhaust, air conditioning, turbo and nitrous accessories and more. Get your free catalogue and shop online now at aeroflowperformance.com.
How does an engine keep going out here? Well, that was an easy one.
Bang shift shifters from Aeroflow Performance are truly the modern shifter for the modern age. Featuring a full bespoke billet case, all shifters are designed for right-hand drive vehicles with an LED lit gear position indicator. Available in either ratchet or gated options, as well as OEM replacement shifters for popular Holden and Ford vehicles. A large range of bang shift spares are available for each shifter that includes shifter cables, brackets, lever and gate kits, trans brake buttons and drop boxes for the ideal mounting solution. Shift into gear and check out a full listing at aeroflowperformance.com.
All right, guys, we said we wouldn't be long.
We're back. Yeah, we told the truth. It was good.
Yeah, happens occasionally.
Every now and again, every now and again. So, yeah, we did see that JDM King, I believe it was, the Evo 3 come back down after its 9-second pass. Officials had a bit of a chat. I believe that they pointed out that the vehicle is legal to keep running at that speed. So, yeah, obviously there's some things to consider with when you're running at certain ETs and mile per hour and things like that. We've got to consider that everyone's going to be safe. 169 miles per hour, I think that thing ran. That is moving.
I think he's got to slow it down 9 miles an hour.
9 miles an hour.
But he said he promised.
Yeah, he promised. Yeah, he promised. And drag racers always deliver.
Mate, they don't lie.
Yeah, no.
But there is discrepancies in speedos.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe, you think maybe when it's sitting still, it sits on 140 or something like that.
Well, 14.0108 miles an hour for the Aeroflow lane and 15.985 miles an hour.
Great to see a few cars here tonight, Mark, with some Parco Tech stickers on them. We've got an Audi about to come out, seen a Volkswagen Golf out the back, so great to see those guys out here as well.
Excellent.
Awesome. Yeah, Parco Tech definitely regulars out here at the Dragway with the Volkswagen Audi product.
Yep.
So got some very quick gear coming out of the. I think a lot of the stuff is MQB platform. I think it is that they run.
Okay.
Same sort of engine, like 2-litre turbo across a bunch of different models.
Yep.
So you can. It might be a small SUV, it might be a hatch, it might be something else, but it's all got the same sort of running gear in it.
Yeah.
So it's adds for a bit of variety, but simplifies the mods and the tuning.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that Silver Valiant coming up the return road, I'll tell you what, I am in love with that car. My brother had one that he was originally going to do as a project car a long time ago, and I just love that body shape. Hey, it's just beautiful.
Have a chat to him, Stu. Might give you a bit of a spin around the around the car park, or something. You never know.
Well, I was just talking to the gentleman with the Dodge Ute earlier, and he was saying that some of the parts he's got through the car are actually he's bought off the Tillies, of all people. Of course, Brad and Cameron, well known for their Chrysler Valiants in the Appendix J Group N days at Allen Park and Emery Park.
Definitely. Still running in Touring Car Masters, I think is the category now.
Yeah, no, they've been around a long time, the Tillies, down in Northern Beaches, down at Brookvale.
Yep, I know that Valiant was, they were sticking with the 6-cylinder for a long time, which things sounded unreal. I think it was 8,000 RPM they had that thing singing to at one point.
Yeah.
But, with the development in Touring Car Masters category, the cars look like classic cars on the outside, but they're far from it. So I think they had to succumb and probably drop to 360 or something in there, get the V8 happening, and the rest is history. But
which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame, but you want to go fast, you got to go fast.
Yeah.
Hey, what did that Audi do on the 60 just then? Because it kept that GDR fairly honest.
It was a 185 to a 182.
Geez, that really rocketed off the line, that car. Well set up.
Absolutely. All right, so we have the 300C, or I should say the Chrysler 300 SRT.
Yep.
Down here. Definitely got his head around the burnout this time, which is great. I know the first pass, the burnout wasn't ideal, so got a bit of heat in the tyres this time. It's running a Mickey Thompson radial and some front runners on the front. So let's see if we can't get it off the line and keep this GDS honest.
You definitely need to put a little bit of heat in them. Just go out cold. It does what it's doing now.
Yep. Still keeping the wheel speed up, so not a complete loss. It's still a sub 2 second 60 foot, which is good for a street car, especially a rear wheel drive one. Heads off for a 1181 at 124. The GDS 1157.
Yep.
120. Looking a bit better for where it should be.
I remember when they, barely remembered, but when the QEs come out with the 350 and the Muncie 4-speed in them.
Yep.
It was just such a absolute beast of a car.
Yeah. Yeah, classic.
Good bit of a mix of Holden and Chev.
What a great name for a gearbox as well, a Muncie.
Oh yeah. Muncie Rock Crusher.
Yeah, that's right, Muncie Rock Crusher. There's no gearbox these days is called a Muncie Rock Crusher. No. Nor do I think any manufacturer out there would consider calling something so entertaining as a Muncie Rock Crusher. ZF 8HP32. Wow, that's exciting. Got nothing on a Muncie Rock Crusher.
Yeah.
Welcome to Australia.
Or a Saginaw.
Yes, Saginaw, yeah.
Saginaw that never changed gears because the shifters were worn out before they were even new.
I think they must have given up and just went straight back to power steering pumps.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the days.
That was the days when things would actually, like, just break out of the factory.
Yep.
You know, like, it's like, we put our rose-coloured glasses on, obviously. Classic cars have a lot of nostalgia and, the memories and all that sort of thing. And they were paving the way for performance car. But make no mistake, today is probably the best time to be alive as far as performance cars are concerned, It's I don't want to take anything away from classic vehicles. That's all of the nostalgia, all of the history, all of the feeling, the smell, all that sort of stuff. But it's a different world.
My brother was really into it. He's a mechanic and used to build his own motors and stuff. And I used to just tag along, and it was Carter Street and all of those places. And the guys out there, like, and you were saying, like you had a quick car. Well, 11-second car back then, you were God.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you were working for it as well. There was nothing easy about it to run 11 back in the day. That VRVS sedan in the Rocket Lane offer a 1284 at 109. I think that might be one of the better runs for that car.
Not bad at all. 13.7, 101 for the Aeroflow lane. BA Falcon, nice, sharp little burnout.
Sorry, mate, that's a BF.
Oh, BF, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was actually going to say
back to the small changes.
I was going to say XY, but I just...
How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, it's good to see the HQ Holden running down in the Rocket Lane there as well. Actually, quite an honest race here, so... just gets to the line first with the 13.0 at 114. That's that turbo back half.
Yep.
The 12.95 at 108 for the VESS in the Rocket Lane. Love the sticker on the rear window. This Valiant in the Aeroflow lane, low and slow. I don't know. It did a better burnout than perhaps slow would recommend. So we'll see how it goes. Another one of those pesky turbo Falcons in the Rocket Lane.
Wow.
There, mate.
Yeah. I sort of talked to a guy the other day about the Barras and everything, and he was saying, now availability sort of getting down a little bit on them, and and the motors that you really, with a Barra, you've got to have them ultrasonic, because they do suffer from thickness in the balls and everything.
Ball wall thickness. Not so much ovality, but just more the consistency in the bore, because they were, for lack of a better term, they're a taxi engine. Right? Like they were just designed to be a naturally aspirated thing, and then someone had a brilliant idea of putting some low compression pistons and a turbo on the side of it, and everyone went, holy moly. So, there's definitely things to consider these days. But while you can get a billet block, that's a huge jump from the only other option, which is a factory block.
Yes.
That LC Tirana. Not the LJ.
Perfect.
Still axle trapping off the line there, Mark, but streaking off to 11.56 at 119. It's not bad, but
Hey boys, just down in staging lanes, that red Evo I saw go through.
Yes.
From Mixed Motorsport, Baghdad. We haven't seen that car for a very long time.
That is Mick's own car, Stu.
Yeah, it's great to see the car out. I was just having a chat to the boys off mic. As I said, we don't get to see enough of them. And, they don't... To see these workshops come out, like Team Karam, Mixed Motorsport, and even the Regal Club and a lot of these people, this is what makes Race for Real fun. Not just seeing the cars out on the track and doing what they do best, but, when you get to do what Pat, Steve, Mark and I do, and Ben, it's great, because at this level of grassroots motorsport, as we call it, to be these workshops that have been around for a long, long time, pop their head up and go, you know what, let's go racing on a Wednesday night. And it's great for a lot of our regular street races. It's something that they can fight to, because you never know what might happen in the future. I mean, as you said, Pat and Mark, you might get the bug and go, you know what, I want to do something to my car, and this is my budget. What can I do? And what better way to get the right information than going to speak to these workshops and say, hey guys, this is what I want to do. What do you think?
Well, there's no better way to back it up, right, Stu, than the blacktop dyno. You know, you can have dyno figures, you can have a roller dyno, a hub dyno, a magic dyno, a dream dyno. But when you get the car out here and you get that mile per hour at the other end, it's going to tell you what your car's really doing, and you know you can't hide from that. So, yeah, there's plenty of people that'll throw dyno sheets up. But if you're really serious about going fast in your car, you want to find the guys that are coming out here and running those times and mile per hour on the strip. And it's great to see them out here. It's great to see Mixed Car out here. It's great to see the Karam guys out here. It's great to see ERS down here. You know, there's a bit of everything, which is just awesome. Ooh, that VL getting a little out of shape off the line there, mate. Great looking car. Let's keep it pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, that's Mike Savage. Savage bonnets.
He's a bit savage on the right foot, I think, coming off the
Yeah,
line.
I think so.
We have to work on that.
Yeah. 11-1, 120 miles an hour for the early Holden against a 16.8 at 67 miles an hour. Not reflective of that car. I think gets a bit of a cleaner pass. We'll see some better times out of that car.
Definitely. Definitely.
Well, it's great to see a whole heap of people up in the stands watching the racing. Of course, it's not just about the car, it's about you guys up in the stands. Now, Pat and I and Mark did mention earlier that we have some plans in the pipeline, and it's something that Benji and I have been working on for a little while, and we're very fortunate that we've got 3 other fantastic commentators, top-level commentators too, to work with here. And we're going to bring back the shout-out hour, which will be happening in the near future. So you'll be able to send shout-outs to your friends. Obviously, we need to double-check them to make sure that they are clean and make sure that they are able to be put to air. But not just that, we're people from all around the world which watch our live streams as well. They are more than allowed to get involved with the night as well, even if they're on the other side of the world. And that's the pool that we have here at Sydney Dragway, and particularly for Aeroflow Race for Real. And hey, what better way to do a shout out to your mates or any of your friends that are racing, or to Aeroflow Performance for their fantastic support of our event. And also, if you've got car parts that you're thinking about buying, definitely get in touch with them. But hey, it's a good concept going forward. We're going to bring the fun back here to Wednesday nights. Not that it's not fun already, because let's face it, with you two up in the studio and me down here on my lonesome, or I should say you 3, not 2. It's just there's somebody else up there that we cannot give a microphone to for obvious reasons.
But you're actually right at the moment, Stu's not here anyway, so go for gold, mate.
He just got up and left. Must have been something we said.
That's a good thing then. But no, of course, you know, look, there's some friendly banter. It goes around. But look, Wednesday nights, it is about the drag racing. It is about the burnouts. It is about that message of get off the streets. Let's do it safely. And, you know, all these people that are racing out the back, and all these people that come out and do their burnouts on a Wednesday night, they're showing everybody else that this is the correct way to do it. And we want to make Wednesday nights the place to be. We want to bring the fun back to Sydney Dragway on a Wednesday night. We'll try and get the spectators involved a bit more often as well.
Yeah, you're right, Stu. It's about interaction. It's about creating a little community here. You know, we love seeing, obviously, people that we've seen here for years coming to the track, you know. And, you know, I say I'm only a relatively newcomer to the crew here at Sydney, but everyone's made me feel really welcome. But there's so many people that I've just known as from a spectator point of view or a competitor point of view that I've seen here that's continually supporting this place. You know, we're so lucky to have it. And it's really easy to forget how good this facility is compared to what other people have in this country versus, you know, even in other countries. The quality of this facility is amazing, so we really need to support it just so that the government knows, so that sponsors know that we want it here. You know, we want to come out here, we want to have this great track, and we want to keep it open because in this day and age, mate, you know, there's a lot of people that don't like that sound, which is a beautiful falcon screaming its head off while it's doing a burnout. We love it, and we want to see more of it. So we've got to make sure that everyone gets down here and supports it, and we tell everyone as far and as wide as we can that drag racing's here and it's here to stay.
Yeah.
little bit of a pedal off the line for the Falcon. Running straight and true at the back end of the track. It's going to cross the line for an 11.98 at 1:17 tonight, which is no slouch.
Well, it's followed straight up by this Fairmont gear. They're just an absolute brilliant car, weren't they? You know, like the trim, the finish, you know, like.
Yeah, back in the day when you had a gear badge on your car, you knew you had the special version,
Yeah.
you know, and it was appointed. Like so many in the later series stuff, it just turned into sticker specials.
Yes.
You know, it was like, oh, we put a sticker on here, we changed the other wheels. Yeah. We stitched a badge into the headrest. You're like, mate, that doesn't make me feel special.
Would it be fair to say, guys, that we're seeing a little bit of a resurgence of the XD to XF Falcons?
100%, Stu.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Mate,
absolutely.
Those things right down to the simple, you know, they had Pioneer stereos from, and everything was named. It was the good gear.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the brand. You were getting the premium options on all the bits and pieces, you know.
Yeah. And then if you had an ESP, well, whoa, hey.
Oof. Look out. And at the time, they were just another car.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, it was. I shouldn't say just another car, but it was the same. It was the same with XYs and GTs and HOs and things like that. Yep. It was just that was the sporty. Like 2 years later, it was like, that's the old one now. And I'm sure ESPs, while for enthusiasts they were special, it was still a couple of years later it was the old one. You know, so everyone's like, don't worry about that. But now, my goodness, you know, the values are going through the roof, and people are just hanging on to them.
I used to, I built 13 Taranas like I've had for myself, and in the earlier days, you could just go out the back of the bush and go and get all your spare parts. Because they were just, people were buying for paddock bashes and just leaving them out there.
Yep. I remember being a young kid at a family friend's property down near Ulladulla, and having an adventure on this property in the backyard and pulling the Tarana badges off. I honestly can't even remember what it was. It might have been a HB or a UC. Sorry.
Yep.
Either one of them. I don't think it was a HB. I think it might have been a UC. But yeah, pulled the badges off because it was just some old car rusting in the paddock, you know. And I thought the badges looked cool, so I probably still got them somewhere, to be honest. Might be worth something these days.
It might be, yeah.
But yeah, that's what they were, and it was so many other cars the same.
Yes.
You know, you can still see it when you travel into regional. New South Wales or regional Australia or anywhere, you'll drive past a paddock that's got a whole bunch of old cars in there. And now, the bloke that's got those old cars knows what they're worth as well. Yep. So you just drive past and you go, keep on driving.
Yeah, they usually got a sign out the front, not for sale.
Yeah, not for sale, or bring your wallet. Either way. Either way.
But you drive past and they're just rotting out in the weather. It just makes you cry.
Come on, mate.
And there's things that you would think that are like, VN Commodores.
Yep.
Dime a dozen, burnout car, and that was it. Now
man, an Atlas Grey SS in good nick. Oof, that's a nice thing.
Yeah. And same as your early Falcons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all moving on. I mean, even VRVS stuff is starting to come up. Like if you find a really nice, like a nice SS, VS or something like that, and it's the right colour combination, and it's got the red pinstripe, similar to the Ute that's here.
Yes.
That's the green, I think, from memory. I can't remember what the actual colour's called, but they're just, people are going, I remember those from when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And they were pretty tidy, or whatever it might be, and so now there's the bit of the, I might try and get one of them.
Yeah, well, go and try and find an SV5000.
No way. Yeah.
And no one wanted them.
No, yeah. I remember there was an old, I should say an old fella, but there was an elderly gentleman that used to daily drive to our local shops an SV3800.
Yeah.
Every day it was parked in the same spot. Just go and get his paper or whatever it was. But it's like, that was like the unloved thing. I know it's a V6, it wasn't the 5 litre and all that sort of thing, but still, that was kind of a limited edition thing, right?
Yeah, nothing like the sound of that sporty cordy. Ross the Boss is in the house.
Yeah, I think Ross is a little bit more happy about the car. He seemed to have given a little bit more in the burnout.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Now, we've got Lydia down here. Now, she was just talking to me before. She wanted to race Joe Sabello. And I said, well, she goes, he's going to beat me over the line. I said, yeah, but you might be able to out-tree him. You know, you might, if you know your car, it doesn't matter how fast it is, she could crack a 000 and Joe could go .001. So, hey, anything's possible.
Right,
just a little bit of fluid, a mop up on the start line there. Don't think it's anything too bad.
No, I'm sure Ross will be all over it, Stu. And yeah, you're right. You know, you can come out here and you know, if we reach the number, we might have to check if we've got the reaction time.
Yeah.
Competition going on tonight. So, you know, you might not have the fastest car out here, but you could have the fastest trigger finger or, you know, trigger foot, as it were, you know, to cut that perfect light, and you might be able to take home $300, $200, $100 for being quick on the light. So there's always something for everyone. Double red for everyone, and that Tirana is a handful, though.
Yeah, it's just moving around a bit.
Ross's Cortina is definitely feeling a little bit more sporty, that's for sure.
Backed it down a bit, 10.9 at 89 miles an hour. Backed it down a lot.
He was off it well early there, yeah.
And 15.0, 69 for the Tirana, so yeah.
Both cars wagging the tail up to the halfway mark, I think. So.
All right, Lydia coming out now in her slow car, she calls it, because she's got a Mazda RX-7 as well. But tonight she's got the Navara out here.
Yep, doesn't really matter what's under the hood. You can still pick a lane, pull it into stage, and work on your reaction time.
Yep, indeed. Well, just to everyone out in the spectators areas also, if you're getting a little bit hungry, we do have Troy's Woodfire Pizza, Denise up there as well.
Denise is up there,
coffee.
go nuts for donuts.
Yep, and the donuts, like nothing better standing, watching your donuts cook. That smell of fresh donuts. And who else do we have up there? Manage anyone else? No, that's it. Okay, and also down in the pit area, we have the Pit Cafe, and the lovely ladies down there, they have all different types of food, burgers, hot dogs, coffee, drinks, the whole lot as well. So feeling a bit munchy or a bit of a drink, by all means, go for a wander.
Bit of everything for everyone. Gas,
100%.
Fired pizzas, go nuts for donuts, and the Pit Cafe. Make sure you get your laughing gear around it.
Well, guys, if you're in the crowd, we're just going to, looks like we're just going to do a quick mop-up, just check the track. But very soon it might be time to get your phones out because, as I mentioned earlier, Baghdad is here from Mixed Motorsports, a very, very well-known Evo here in Sydney. And Pat and Mark, you know, this car, I don't know how many years this car has been around, but it still runs the numbers, and it certainly made a mark in the Evo world here in Australia, didn't it?
It certainly has, Stu. Baghdad has taken the crown at the Flying 500, or World Time Takers On over the road at Sydney Motorsport Park. Surprisingly, never really run a lot of, right out to its potential here at the Strip. I think previously it's been a research and development car for Mick himself. Used to drive it, obviously. Unfortunately, can't really do the steering as much anymore. But still well and truly behind the development that he's using his own vehicle to pass on to his customers and other cars from the Mixed Motorsport stable. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've got a feeling this thing, it's definitely well over the 1,000 horsepower mark. I think it's something like 1,600 or 1,700 horsepower this thing is made now. A turbo the size of your head strapped to the front of it. Yeah, and a loose nut behind the wheel probably to to steer it down the way. So, yeah, really excited to see what the guys can work on tonight. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of testing and tuning and some figuring out, but yeah, great to see it out here, and everyone else that's turned out to see what their machine can do.
It's good to see these guys that are doing a bit of test and tuning, because you sort of see the first couple of passes they run through, and you know, they might just launch them out, then back them off, and just getting a little bit of data on, you know, how the track and the car's doing, and then they just start to turn it up from there.
Yeah, a bit of a shakedown pass.
Yes. Yep.
And a lot of the time, these things of, you know, it might be a new combination, so it might be a car that you've run 100, 150, 200, 400 passes, but then all of a sudden you've changed something, so it's back to square one. You know what it is that you've got to do. You know how to go through the motions.
Yep.
But you're just never sure. All of the data and the dyno runs and all that sort of thing might not tell you exactly what the car's actually going to do when you step off the clutch or let go of the trans brake button. So,
and this is where it all is. You know, like as you said earlier, you know, like you can have the biggest dyno sheet in the world, until you put it down this track, it's not going to perform the way that it should do without that little bit more intervention. And I know our motor would virtually come off the dyno into the car, and it produced good horsepower for an aspirated motor. And yeah, it was nowhere near where we thought it was going to be. And Pete Pinesti is brilliant on motors and stuff. Spent a bit of time with us out here, and the thing just got quicker and quicker and quicker. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, there's no substitute for actual testing.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you can do all the simulations you want, but it's just not going to happen. Not exactly sure what's happened down here on the track. I've got the red lights out.
We've got kangaroos down the end of the track.
Okay.
That'll be, There's nowhere else in the world where you'll be heading down the staging lanes and almost trip over some kangaroo poo. So, welcome to Sydney Dragway, folks.
We might have to put some kangaroo stands
charging him for spectating, I think. I think we might make a little bit of money off him just quietly.
So. Oh, there goes Skippy. Yep. Stay off the track, mate. Come on.
Yeah, don't go on the track. But no, as I said, guys, we're very fortunate here at Aeroflow Race for Real that we never know what's going to come through the gates. You know, when you have mixed motorsport here, as you said, Pat, ERS, Team Carrum, Osmond's here as well. I mean, where else would you want to be on a Wednesday night than here at Sydney Dragway?
No, you're right, Stu. There is one thing that we know we're going to get through the gate on a Wednesday night, and it's kangaroos.
Whoa!
So, hey, take it easy, mate. Yep.
It was almost a perfect baseball slide then, just quietly.
Must need a new set of tyres, mate.
Yeah.
So if there's any of our international viewers that are watching via Facebook, unfortunately, guys, this is a bit of a regular occurrence on a Wednesday night. To have skippies make their appearance. Unfortunately, it does hold up racing, but obviously we don't want a car hurtling down the track and hitting a skippy.
No, definitely not. And I guess it's probably for those people tuning in from, you know, overseas, interstate, wherever it may be. Sydney Dragway is actually located in the Western Sydney Parklands region. So there's a large large reservoir just over the rise behind the track, and obviously a lot of parklands, you know, bush area. So the skippies aren't just sort of turning up in the middle of Sydney necessarily. we sort of turned up in the middle of their backyard. So we just got to make sure that we shoo them on and get them back to their little skippy family, and we can get back to racing. He's heading in the right direction, so
yeah,
right.
Yeah, he's going back up the top, get prime view.
That's it. He's on his way. Let's fire these cars up and give the wildlife a show.
Give them what skippies come to see.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So, Mark, we're very fortunate here, particularly on this run. We get the best of both worlds. We got the V8 fans, and of course, people like myself that love the imports. Cannot wait to see this run between both cars. Obviously, the tyre temperature would have gone down, so it might make it a little bit hairy, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, those big tyres that Joe's got on the back would have cooled off a fair bit.
Looks like the Evo just sorting out a few little bits and pieces. Just going to pull it into pre-stage, and then second bulb on in the full stage. Start building some boost and let's get it on the way.
Well, Joe goes out a 1.3. Oh, doesn't that sound good?
That's, yeah. It was softly,
just for your
and
information too, guys, they're only able to go half-track in this car. Unfortunately, it was just out of tech, so they're only allowed to go half-track in Baghdad.
Okay, that does make sense, yep. The car has been around for a little while. Definitely all of the safety gear's in there, but after a certain amount of time, the tech approval from the governing bodies does run out, so I'm sure they'll get that sorted out. But being a new combination from the guys there, they're going to be testing short track stuff anyway. All right, I think Karam's still just struggling with the launch off that. ERS car is out of the hole quite well at 1.660 foot. Wiggling its tail down there, off to an 896 at 169 miles per hour for the ERS Evo King. So a little bit down off its previous PB, but the first run for the night. So great to see those guys back at it. I think, is that the Elite Auto House Evo down there, Stewie? I think that's...
So that's the Elite Auto House in this one?
Yep. Executor, I think that's a new combination for this car.
Okay.
Yeah, running nitrous on it as well. Because these guys have been out here with one of their other Lancers, which is more street-based. It is a white one. But at least see what they can do in this, I guess you could, what do you call this, Pat? Pro Street Evo?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I'm pretty sure if you ask the guys, if you drive it on the street, it's a street car, mate. So.
I'm sure I parked next to it at Kmart.
Big flash of flame that just came out of it?
Yep. Might have been a little nitrous hiccup there, perhaps.
Just
looking to get that car restarted. But,
so you're saying, Pat, it's a new combo in this one?
I believe so, yeah. I think it might be a new turbo and engine combination for the guys. So, like everyone, a bit of figuring out.
Well, the engine is still running, boys.
That's good to see.
So that's a positive. But just goes to show, guys, at that level of street car, and I guess you could call it a street car. I'd kind of call it more pro street rather than street car. But even at that level, boys, the amount of R&D development money it's gone into those things, to have them here on a Wednesday night is fantastic. But big difference though for those cars, I guess, boys, is the prep side of it. I mean, we're running on a full street prep here tonight. We're not running on a standard race car prep. So for those guys, they wrap their head around getting those cars off the line on this prep. That's where all the tuning and all their experience comes into it.
Well, it's a good bit of experience for them too, Stu, for our other nights that we run for the roll race.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got roll drags coming up again next week on the 23rd, I think it is, next Thursday. So again, that is a formula that's really exciting for us here at Sydney Dragway. We've got some rules that are evolving. Yep. We're allowing some different things. We're moving the... we've listened to the people that are coming and the people that are watching and the people that want to take part in these things. Yep. We said the whole time that the first one wasn't going to be perfect. No. We did our best, but it was never going to be perfect.
No, and we're sort of running a little bit different to the other forms that's going.
Yep.
So we're on a full drag strip, but
yeah, that's right. We're doing some prep because we have the ability to do it.
Okay.
So previously it was a very light prep.
Yes.
Just to make sure that there wasn't any basically rubbish on the track and whatnot. But as we know, for the roll racing, diehards and the guys that are really involved in it, they're still making a lot of power.
Yes.
And not being able to do a burnout necessarily before the run means that you may not have super high temperatures. So we've taken that into consideration. We're going to lay a little bit more prep on the track. Going to give it a bit of a dusting. We've pushed the finish line out to the 1,000-foot mark.
Oh, great.
From what I understand,
yep.
which is awesome. You know, we were gently in the first couple of events.
Yes.
You know, let's just run it for the 660. Let's make sure that everything's going to be, you know, all okay. See what the see what the entertainment value is like. And you know, everyone said, hey, it's a bit too short.
Yep.
And we agreed. So we're out to the 1,000-foot. We're also allowing methanol fuel.
Okay.
For those street cars that are complete street cars, but just like have a bit more of a alcoholic sort of flavour to their fuel.
Just a fuel drinking habit.
Yeah, a bit of a drinking habit. That's right. But hey, that's exciting, right?
It is. It's really exciting to see how it's evolving, and we're getting to where we are from the race's input.
Yep. That's exactly right, and that's what the whole time we said, give us solid feedback.
Yes.
You know, it's like when you got a professional driver that drives a car and it comes back after a pass or a lap at the circuit or something and says that was rubbish.
Yep.
And the engineer, the tuner goes, "What was rubbish about it?" And he goes, it's just rubbish. Yeah. Can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what are you supposed to fix? So that's why we said, if you've got some feedback, give us some solid, constructive feedback to make these events better, because we want people to turn up. We want it to go well.
You want it to succeed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's what we've done. We've listened to the people. We've extended the racing distance. We've opened up a few more of the rules. We're going to let some pretty killer cars get out here. So get on down. If you're thinking about roll drags, if your car is as Stewie said, a pro street car or a street car, if it's got number plates on it, get it on down here. If you've got a pro mod, leave it at home.
Yeah,
that's we're not going to let. It's still for street cars, street style cars. So that's what we want. Get it down here. If you're not sure if your car maybe qualifies as a street car for roll drags, take a photo, send us a couple of details. Shoot a message through to the Sydney Dragway Facebook page, or you can join the Sydney Roll Drags group on Facebook. You can ask plenty of questions there. There'll be staff members to be able to answer your questions and give you a bit of an idea as to whether or not you can bring that car down, or whether maybe it's a little bit more pro than street, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. and I think you will know yourself.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know. Yeah. Yep. So we can you can get down here, and if it is something that's a dedicated race car, we're going to scrutineer it. Yeah. It's going to go through scrutineering. You're going to have a look at it and go, look, man, this is just a bit too full on for what we're trying to do here. But
and it's no matter what we're racing, it's all about the safety.
Yep.
And that's the idea of putting the things through scrutineering to make sure they're not going to dump their lunch all over the track, and but also that it's a safe vehicle.
Yeah, and with these street meets, the scrutineering isn't it's not like a full on Group 1. So like we're not going to be crawling under your car here and there, but we're going to just make sure of silly little things that can come loose, or something that might not be right on a street car that you could have forgotten about. Just to something as simple as the battery not being tied down properly. That can cause all sorts of dramas if there's something goes wrong on the track. Shorting out could cause a spillage, or a coolant overflow that's full, for example, when you're going through scrutineering. Probably not a good thing to start racing with. So we're just checking over those sorts of things and making sure that everything's above board. So it's about making sure that people can come out and they can run, they can have fun and do it again. Not just once. So I think definitely there's a lot of potential on board for that next Roll Drags event. So we'd love to see you down here. And if you've got any questions tonight and you're watching the live stream,
shoot it
drop
out.
A question on there. We'll have a look at it. We've got Benji man in the keys there. And if he doesn't know the question, he's going to ask anyone else and get you an answer. And get in touch. We want to we want to be able to have that interaction with you guys.
We want to make it work. Wow.
Whoa. Making it work is something that the BMW launch control did not do on that pass, mate. That's I think there was a lot more wheel slip than maybe those several computers expected.
Yeah, I think they just all bailed on him.
Yeah, that's right. No such issue in the Rocket Lane. Nugget the up, 1924. At 72, consistent as always.
Just a quick one, guys, to all the competitors that are out the back, guys, just letting you know, when you come up the return road, guys, there is a speed limit, guys, so just please be careful, slow it down a little bit when you're coming up the return road, please. You will get back in line, you will get another run, but just bear in mind that safety is a big aspect of what we have here at Sydney Dragway and what we do. So please just slow it down a little bit when you are coming up the return road, particularly across the burnout pad.
Well, and perfect example of where you are at the moment, Stu. You know, like we've got a car that's stopped there, and we've got the guys down on the quad just hooking it up to move it. So if you go burning up the road, we don't want anyone getting hurt.
That's right. You know, you might not be able to see from the other side of the burnout pad. You might not be able to see someone laying down, putting a strap underneath a car, or you know, a kangaroo that's decided to stop off next to the wall and watch the night's action. You know. Yeah. So yeah, unless you want to give Skippy a lift back around to the parklands, just in your windscreen,
and you won't be happy.
Just slow it down. Yeah, slow it down. All right, we've got a nice little Subaru WRX in the Aeroflow lane. It's out. We've got the S15 200SX or Sylvia in the Rocket lane as well. 1296, 112 for the WRX versus the 13.4, 111 for the S15. Bit of banter from the Subaru there. The number plate Evo sucks. Okay. There might be a couple of people with some words about that here tonight. Yeah.
So he might be have a few passes lined up there.
Yeah, I think so. He's taking his Brave pills for that one. So.
Well, we've got the boosted VK Commodore up against the Honda.
The boosted Honda as well. Boost on boost crime.
Yeah, it is too, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's see, can the Integra get the power down? It's definitely still struggling, but a much cleaner launch out of the Integra. The VK is ripping off 164 in the 60 foot. He's going to go through for an 11.0 at 123. I got a feeling that was off early.
Yeah, it's just your perfect street sleeper, isn't it?
Yep.
It just stock as a rock on the outside, and all the right gear on the inside.
Tear your face off when you bury the foot. Gotta love it. All right, so a little bit of late model JDM/Euro happening here. Toyota Supra, BMW Z4 underneath the skin. I know the Supra fans are going to be upset at that, but it is what it is, people.
Wow, you just got to look at the badge.
Yeah, well, look, it's a B58 engine. Pretty sure BMW developed that.
Yeah, up against the VW.
I think it's a Golf R.
Audi.
Yep.
However many other brands that are involved.
One of those, VAG. Yep. But look, that Supra platform is, unfortunately, he's just bumped through the light, which means that he's going to miss out on that pass. Unfortunately, when you do bump through the light here, guys, on a Wednesday night, because we are trying to roll a bunch of cars through, we just need you to make the pass after that. But don't worry, get down to the other end, come around, we'll go again. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely have plenty of runs under your belt by the end of the night.
Absolutely. And I really want to see the development of that platform as well. You know, here it's still, you know, being fairly fresh, that Supra B58 platform, but you know, in the States, I'm pretty sure they're well into the 8s now.
Yeah, yep.
So a lot of potential there. Right, here's our friends in the GDS Holden.
And the big 2 shotguns hanging out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stu back behind the wheel.
There's a bit of tuning going on down there with that car tonight, Stewie.
I think Stu's just playing around with it. Both of them out here having a bit of a drive.
Much cleaner getaway from the GDS, and one to keep him honest from the Rocket Lane with the Golf. 860 foots apiece.
Yes, good clean pass. 11.4, 120 miles an hour to a 12.0, 113 miles an hour. Yeah, really nice, well set up car.
Yeah, yep, I think so. It's a nice, nice cruiser that packs a bit of a punch. But a little 23 Civic Type R back down here in the Aeroflow lane with the everyone's JDM favourite, JZA80 Supra.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Love it. But I'd still drive it, just have the motor.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys, we've got an older model Supra here that's got a big set of radials on the rear end of it. Hashtag 2J in the world. Let's see what it's got for us.
You got it, Stu.
Gently off the line for the 2J. I'm sure.
Actually, speaking about 2Js, there was a post up on Facebook the other day that the record got reset too.
Yeah, I believe well into the fives,
something?
570 maybe.
Yeah, 570 I think it was. Yeah, some ridiculous time they got out of a 2J. So, Josh, if you're watching the live stream, mate, you'd be no doubt grinning from ear to ear, my friend.
Oh, don't bring that guy up, Stu. Bloody hell.
Well, I miss Josh out here at Sydney Dragway on a Wednesday night. He's a great character. He loves his 2Js, obviously. But he is a great guy and a great character in our sport.
Yeah, the smoker is a character for sure, mate. We'll see him back out here in no time, I guaranteed. So nice little launch out of the 33 GTR down there at 1.7, 60 foot. Reels off an 11.48, 121. Really nice little 33 down there. 14.27 at 102 for the Rocket Lane.
Okay, we've got the Falcon Ute. Nice little for sale sign on the back window if someone wants to step into a nice clean ute.
Not a bad way to sell your car. Show what it's got.
100%.
So, hey, mate, this is how fast it is. You want to buy it? Let's go.
Yep. I don't thrash it.
Yeah, don't thrash it. Only driven on Wednesday nights.
Yep.
I dare say it's had a bit of turbo work done to it as well, and he's taking on the Dan Performance Subaru.
Right. Yep. Softly on the 60 foot for both lanes there, but rolling into the power as we head on down the track. Falcon crossing the line for a 12.98 at 114 to the 13.59 at 116 for the WRX.
Okay, we've got the Beamer down in the Aeroflow lane, and mate, you... I'm
going to call Kia.
Okay, I'll go along with it.
No, it's actually a Ford.
It's a Ford. Is that a Focus?
It is a Focus ST.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Perfect spot down there, Stu.
I have to run down and grab my glasses out of the car, mate.
Well, I know for a fact that every time you look at a Ford, your eyes start burning. So let's be honest, you're not Galvo, so I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it affects me retina.
Just get a bit of
so
twitching
that's the reason why you don't ride in Galvo's Mustang. That's how I see.
I just refuse. Two think it's a Ford, and he's a lunatic, so yeah.
I can see the eye twitching from here, Stu.
I dare say Pat would be the same way, I think.
No, mate, I think, look, I've had both badges, you know. Mate, if it's fast, it's cool. I like it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to go out the back and have a chat with some drivers because we've got a really, really good turnout tonight. And let's face it, there's got to be some characters here, you know. I mean, Joe Sabello's here. Joe's definitely a character. We all know that. But, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of others. Why are you always on the phone?
Huh?
Why are you always on the phone? I'm not scary. Even though I'm holding a microphone, Lydia didn't want to talk to me. I was holding a microphone. Am I really that scary? I don't think so. Nah, it's great. Tell you what, while we're here, there's one guy I need to have a chat with, and it's a driver that's driving this silver Charger, and he's just in front of me. G'day, mate. How are you? What's your name there?
Danny.
Danny, welcome to Aeroflow Race for Real, mate. Now, I've been out on the start line the last couple of times you brought your Charger out. Mate, you look like you are having so much fun in that burnout.
Yeah, it is. It's fun, man. Come out here and give it a fang.
Why not? Tell me a little bit about your Charger.
It's a 71 VH, 340. Yeah, that's it. Really, yeah. Pretty standard.
And how long have you owned the car for?
I'd like to say 50 years, but only 6.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful piece of kit, and you know, I don't know too much about the Chargers, I'll be straight up, but mate, I tell you, I love the stance on your car, I love the look of it, and most of all, I love to see you here with a smile on your face and doing what you love.
Good on you, man. Thanks for that.
Mate, it's a big thank you to yourself and also the entire Regal Club that have come out tonight and supported Aeroflow Race for Real. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks to the Regal Club. They did a great job organising it.
We'll hopefully see more of you guys in the future. That's what we love to see. Now, I'm going to find Sydney Dragway's most consistent car driver, who is just over here. Now, I know we're talking about the big boys, but this young lady has got the most consistent car that comes out in a Wednesday night. What's going on?
Not much.
How's the car going?
It's going pretty good, feeling good.
Yeah, any plans for some mods for this car?
Yes.
Oh, I like it how you're laughing and there's a big grin coming on your face. You going to let us in on a secret?
Not really, but she won't be coming. Tonight's her last night. She's getting dropped off next Friday for a few months, so she won't be here for a while.
Ah, that's interesting. So, any hints?
Just a lot more power.
I like that. Has it got something that resembles a hairdryer going on the side of it?
No, it's going to be a big, big mod.
Lovely. Here you go, Mark and Pat. The secret's out. 1-2 Nugget will be out here very soon, going quicker.
Yeah, Nugget the up. Love it.
She's going to put an LS in it.
Yeah.
You're going to put an LS in it. The boys are wondering.
No.
No.
I wish.
I've got my guess as to what I think is going to happen.
Well, you know, if you need parts, Aeroflow Performance, have you been through their catalogue yet?
Yes, I have. I've looked at it. I'm like, oh, maybe a big turbo. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, the big
I
turbo.
love
Let's
how
do
you're
it.
so coy about it. Normally I try and come on, try and twist their arms, but it doesn't really work that way, does it, with you?
All that I can say is it's going to be a lot quicker. Everyone will be like, oh, yeah, she's doing pretty good. Go on the drag, do a better time. Everyone will be like, oh. And then pop the hood, you'll know. There's the hint.
I love it. Well, it's great to see you here at Aeroflow Race for Real. Well, I don't know it'll be our most consistent car for much longer, boys, because by the sound of it, she's going to be coming back bigger and badder.
Hey, Stewie, I've actually seen a Rexy motor in a Mini.
Really?
So you can fit them anywhere.
Yeah, put them anywhere. Mate,
Well,
I've seen a lot of swaps with those things as well.
Yes.
I've seen a GTI swap on the up, so maybe some hints there.
Well, I like that, and you know that's one thing we do harp on a fair bit. Race for Real, aside from the racing aspect of it and the safety aspect, it's great to see the journey of young drivers, male and female, that have got cars. They've come out, got the bug here on a Wednesday night, and they've gone, you know what, I want to go quicker, and they're doing a great job of it as well.
Well, Stuart's good in the way that she's spent a bit of time just getting the driving, getting used to it, getting consistency, getting her head round the off-the-line stuff, and now moving on to the car.
Getting the bug.
Yes.
After it, I think. Getting the bug in the nug. That's the way.
It's so good, isn't it?
I love it.
It is so good. But I'll tell you what, everyone down here's got a smile on their face, and that's really, really good to see. Now, I'm going to try and get a word with a gentleman in the Supra, the newer model Supra, because I want to get the dirt, all right? I want to know what's going on with this platform, because these guys have brought the car out for a little bit of fun, and as you said, there's some quick ones going on in America. Hey, mate, what's your name?
Michael.
Michael, welcome to Aeroflow Race for Real, mate. I'm Stewie. Mate, first of all, tell us a little bit about the Supra. How long have you owned it, and what's it like to drive?
I owned it just over a year now. Probably the best performance car that I've driven. Obviously, it's a rear-wheel drive. They're fast out of factory. I think they're like 12.4 out of factory, something like that. So it's got a little bit of work done to it now, so I want to test it tonight.
So in the subject of work, what actually has been done to it, Michael? Anything fairly serious, or is it just mainly exhaust dump?
These ones pretty good. So it's got a catalyst downpipe, air intake, charge pipe, high flow turbo on it, and it's just been flexed to E50. So yeah, ran 11.8 before it did the flex, so I was going to see what I can get now.
Geez, that's pretty impressive, mate. 11.8. How much more development is there going on around the world with this platform?
Yeah, they're looking into easier way to run E85 through them, because at the moment you have to do port injection, which is quite costly. And yeah, some of them getting like around 1,000 horsepower now. So they call it the new 2JZ motor.
Does it beat a 2J though? Or would you prefer a 2J?
No, I'd prefer this all day. I like modern cars.
Fantastic. Well, here, mate, particularly see the suit. And well, mate, we look forward to watching your journey as years go on.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No worries, Michael. Thank you. There you go, boys.
Thanks for a bit of banter there, Stu. That was good. We just had a bit of action up here from our vantage point. The Osmonds Evo 3 just went the very, very long way round for an 893 at 175 mile per hour, and I think we're going to send him a bill for some timing blocks.
You followed the white line.
Yeah, you followed the white line. That's right. It was a handful for sure, but yeah, definitely a long 400 metres for that 890 for sure. Congratulations to those guys breaking into the 8s. I think it might be their first time to run an 8 for that car. So definitely a little bit of chassis tuning, a little bit of alignment work and whatnot. The thing's going to go straight as an arrow and really fast.
Well, guys, we've got Murder Nova. We've got the Murder HQ, of course, Alicia Teal. Here at Aeroflow Race for Real, we've got Murder BMW right here, mate. This thing is an absolute weapon, this M4. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about it.
So it's got stage 2 tune, full titanium exhaust. What else does that have? Yeah, I think that's about it. Eh? Turns the ECU, put a aftermarket ECU. That's about it. Oh, flex fuel, so it's running E85 with 98. Yeah, that's about it. It's doing about 610 at the wheels. All-wheel drive too, yeah.
Well, mate, we're just watching it off the line, and, mate, the thing is like an absolute...
Still trying to learn how to launch it. Should do about 10s, just under 10s, yeah. But we'll see how we go.
And how much more development do you think this car has got?
Oh, it can go up to 800 horsepower just with fuel. You do it, yeah, 800 horsepower, yep. You just change the fuel pumps. Injectors, that's it, 800 straight off the line.
Well, mate, you're doing a great job in the car, mate. We look forward to seeing more of you here at Aeroflow Race for Real. Tell you what, boys, Pat, you nailed it. You got the BMW motor in those new Supras, and the motor for this late model stuff. It's going to be quick when they get on top of it.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive, Stu. Absolutely, and thanks for that bit of info. But to everyone watching the streams at home, we're just going to dive off for a few seconds. We're going to reset a couple of things, some technical gremlins up here, but we will be back with you for Aeroflow Performance Race for Real at Sydney Dragway.